mine. Oh, the Twitch one did, but YouTube didn't. I am subscribing. For YouTube. For YouTube. Yeah, it's there. It just didn't. I'm subscribed. It's weird. It didn't pop up for me. Yeah, sure.
What is up, Carmination? Welcome here to another edition of NASCAR Live. This is the last NASCAR Live that is going to be at noon because we have our... I got my iPhone volume on full blast. Go me. The last NASCAR Live at noon because we are going to be bringing back, with Week 1 coming around the corner here next Sunday, we are bringing back our 11 a.m. Fantasy Football Live where at 11 a.m. Eastern Time till close to lock... Anthony, Ben, and all of our other NFL people will be on our YouTube channel answering all your questions as like a rapid fire. I mean, we get like hundreds of questions on this show, so we're going to definitely bring that back. So NASCAR Live is going to be moving to, I believe, Dave, we said, what, an hour before
You
that?
never
10?
told me. You just said it's going to be earlier.
No, we talked about it. Don't give me that crap. We talked about it.
I'd tell you because normally you forget stuff like that, but no, you didn't tell me.
Nothing. I forget nothing.
What time is it going to be?
I don't know. 10?
Okay.
10 o'clock. So NASCAR Live's moving at 10 o'clock. We're still going to be doing it through the season, but 10 a.m. on Sundays. So same show, same thing. Just moving it 2 hours earlier to give you guys plenty of time for lock, for both locks, for those that play for those DJs out there that play every fantasy sport. Plenty of time on Sundays to check the replay, watch it live, or check the replay and all that jazz. We have a Cookout Southern 500 today. Before we get into anything, tell us strategy-wise. I know last week we had that, put 7 bazillion salary on the table and play the guys in the back. What are we looking at this week?
Yeah, this week it's back to kind of normal. They're at Darlington. Been to Darlington twice this year already. That's where they started off after the COVID break with 2 races at Darlington. Saw Kevin Harvick dominate the first one, and then Denny Hamlin dominate the second one, which has kind of been the MO basically the entire season. Today, probably looking at about 2 to 3 dominators. Not leaving salary on the table, or like last week, it's going to be less than 1,000 most of the time. Today, get some good place differential. There's definitely some place differential options, a couple chalky ones. Yeah, I mean it's just it's basically like a normal race. Nothing like last week.
Nothing at all like last week. Ethan says, I wonder if Travis will remember to set his stat hero line for NASCAR. Well, we're actually going to be addressing that because I have no idea who I'm plugging. I know that Dave said last week to use the guys that already be in the back because that's that kind of race, because you're not going to be using them for any of the other races moving on. Which I did, I don't think anybody got knocked out. I feel like stat hero's line was just...
Well, they used like Jimmy Johnson.
I think Kevin Harvick was like their... I don't know. Yeah,
it was just like
weird.
It was a dumb line. It was stupid. So I was like, yeah, everyone's going to advance. So it's just probably their point, because it was the first, I think wasn't it the first week of NASCAR, so I'm sure.
Yeah, it was
either they're really dumb or really smart, one or the other. They were dumb and that's how they're going to be.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so... Well, if you don't know what we're referring to, Stat Hero is an app that's currently on iOS only right now. While they wait on the Android app to get approved, it is an app where all you have to do is beat the lineup of their lineup. So Stat Hero puts a lineup. They for NASCAR, for example, they go, here's our 4 drivers. Pick 4 that's going to outscore these 4. And if it outscores, then you win and you move on to the next week, the next race. And you have to keep beating them over and over and over again. If you're the last person to successfully beat their lineup, then you win typically it's minimum of like 10x ROI, depending on the contest. I think Ethan and I are in a PGA one this week. That's it's just a weekend only one, so it's just every 4 rounds. And if either one of us is the last one surviving in that, we get $2,000 off of like a $25 entry. So it's pretty good ROI. Jacques said they got lucky. They got lucky by having a poop lineup.
Well, I'm
Wait,
just
are
saying that I think they wanted people to advance so that way they'd come back
yeah,
and play more.
which was
So they
the complete
probably
opposite of their first PGA one, where like their lineup like knocked out everybody. I'm like, well, this was
nice.
fun. Moving on to next week.
Okay.
So this is a live stream for a particular reason for you guys to be able to answer get your questions answered live on the stream. So no matter if you're watching us right now on Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, any of that jazz, ask your questions in the chat. We'll get to them one at a time. But that being said, if this is your first time tuning into NASCAR Live, we're going to focus on Dave's favorite cash plays and GPP plays on different salary ranges, referring to DraftKings salary. But of course, if he says, I like this person in cash, that doesn't necessarily mean you can only play them in DraftKings cash. You can also play them in other things as well. And then we're going to talk about some Monkey Knife Fight stuff, some price pick stuff, and then some betting stuff at the end. But that being said, let's actually get the stat hero thing out of the way. What is your favorite MVP today? Remember, you can't use a guy again for the rest of the season, for the rest of the contest. Who's going to be the guy I'm plugging in for my 2x? We'll just do that and move on to DraftKings.
Yeah, I would say. You don't want to use any of the good guys today, I don't think, because.
Well, let me tell you stat hero stack so you can kind of tell me. Let me pull it up here real quick.
Let me hear what they got.
All right, for NASCAR this week they have. All right, their captain is Blaney,
okay.
So he's got 2x. They got Hamlin, Logano, and Austin.
Okay. What's the scoring for place differential in there? I have an Android, and so I don't have.
This is all, to my knowledge, this is all DraftKings scoring for NASCAR.
It's all DraftKings scoring. Okay. God, and they're Blaney's. Okay, so you can. I think Jones probably outscores Blaney, and I'd like to use Jones today probably.
Eric Jones is the captain. Lock it. Lock it in.
Then I think you have to use probably. I would just match him with Hamlin today on the other part, just because Hamlin could kill you. So I would just make sure you have Hamlin in there. But I think Jones outscores Blaney. So.
And I know you're saying earlier this is a race to plug in like 2 dominators. So am I looking to waste any kind of dominators on this one?
No, well, Hamlin's one of your dominators you're going to probably waste today. But okay. I think you have to match them at least because Hamlin could kill you. He could go out there and lead a bunch of laps, and then that would probably kill you in that stack.
Gotcha. All right, moving on to the DraftKings portion. For the cash side, top tier salary range, who are we playing?
At cash side, I like Chase Elliott today, starting from the pole. I think the top 3 guys on DraftKings are going to be very popular in a sense that they're all going to garner ownership, and they're all going to kind of be mixed and match, especially in cash. But I think Chase Elliott's probably the safest play because I think it's going to be either Hamlin or Harvick. It won't be Hamlin and Harvick. So Chase starting from the pole, he's got the first pit stall, which is huge here at Darlington. So he's going to gain spots. If he loses them on the track, he's going to gain them on pit road. He's going to have chances, some decent dominator points today, and I think he's a solid and safe cash play today on DraftKings and FanDuel.
All right, moving on to the GPP side. Who are you playing?
Yeah, on the GPP side, I'm torn between Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney. I'm probably going to go Kyle Busch. Starts 15th.
Saying that means that Stat Hero's MVP is a good MVP.
No, it's not a good MVP. It's a GPP play because Blaney could suck and not lead any laps, and basically he just finishes like 5th or 6th and just gets those points, and that's it. I mean, whereas Eric Jones we'll get to Eric Jones because he's in the next tier. I'll explain to you why I picked Eric Jones over Ryan Blaney. But anyway, so going to Kyle Busch, he's back at a track he's been to twice this year. I know we don't still have practice, we don't have qualifying or anything like that. But I think this could be, and I think Kyle Busch. I say this now, and back at the beginning of the year, you call me, that a lame call, but I think Kyle Busch is probably a dark horse to win the championship this year. I think we're basically going back to all the tracks we've been to. this season, even post-COVID
When you
break.
say dark horse, do you mean just because of his point differential of where
No,
he's
just
at in the
because of and
standings?
just because of how he's been this year. He's just everyone's thinking that Denny and Kevin. It's basically come down to Denny and Kevin as a championship. But I think Kyle Busch has the ability now with all the data he's got to come to tracks with cars that are set up a lot closer than they have been all season. And this is going to be one of the first tracks that that they have. This is the first playoff race today, and they've been to Darlington twice. They've been to Homestead. It's all similar tracks. And Kyle, I think Kyle's got a chance today to show up and put on a good race and maybe score some stage points and lock himself in the next round. And if we kind of remember back in was it 2011, Tony Stewart kind of did the same thing that I think Kyle Busch has a chance of doing this year. Is he didn't have any wins going into the playoffs, and then he racked off I think it was 5 straight wins to beat Carl Edwards I think that year. So I think Kyle Busch, is just every week going forward. I think is definitely a great play. Depending on where he's starting DFS wise, but I think he's a good dark horse to win the championship as well. Anyways, that was just my little Kyle Busch information there.
Kyle Busch brain dump.
Yeah.
Mid-tier cash play. Who you plugging in?
Mid-tier cash play. Eric Jones. He's going to be popular on DraftKings, and the reason I'm telling you that you play him over Blaney and on Stat Hero is a couple reasons. I think Blaney's better at some other tracks, so I think you can take advantage of him at another track. Whereas Eric Jones is one of Eric Jones' best tracks. He starts 30th. He's got place differential upside. So he's got a chance to finish top 10 easily today, which is 20 place differential points, which is going to outscore Ryan Blaney unless Blaney goes out there and dominates. That's the only way that Blaney outscores Eric Jones today, in my opinion. But anyways, so Eric, what was it? He's this season alone. Pull up real quick because he's got the he's the second best driver in recent history here at Darlington. He's his finishes this year were 5th and 8th. He won this race last year. He's got an average finish of 5.4 in his Cup career here at Darlington. So Eric Jones, there's no reason not to fade Eric Jones. I think he's a great play on DraftKings, on FanDuel, and on SuperDraft.
All right, before we get to the GPP of the mid-tier, Jacques says, for the cheapo side, who do you like better, Bell or Ross? I can never get Ross right.
I guess we'll have to wait till we get to the cheap side.
Well, it looks like you got to wait, Mr. Daniels. Mid-tier GPP, who are you playing?
Patience, people, patience. All right, mid-tier GPP. I'm probably looking, there's a lot of good plays. And if you look at Final Thoughts, you'll see them. There's a lot of good plays today that have cash game upside as well as GPP upside, but for GPP only, I'm probably looking at Kurt Busch. I like Kurt Busch today. Starts 16th. What did he do? He was kind of underperformed in the second Darlington race here this year, but he finished third. The first one coming off the COVID break, he finished 7th here last year, leading 94 laps. Kurt Busch this is a solid track for Kurt. He starts 16th. He's a good pivot in tournaments off of someone like an Eric Jones, who's going to get a lot of ownership. And I think Kurt and Brad Keselowski, I think Ricky Stenhouse, I think those guys, a lot of those guys are going to be good pivots off of an Eric Jones, because Eric Jones chalk doesn't always have the greatest results. So in tournaments, I have no problem jumping off Eric Jones and going to one of these guys.
Moving to the cheapos. Is the cash spot going to be answering Jacques' questions or the GPP spot?
Probably not, but Final Thoughts would. So.
Oh, well, final thoughts. Check your final thoughts. Speaking of which, we have NASCAR content on our site. This isn't just a podcast we do every single week. We also have content, tons of it, on dfskarma.com. So if you're interested in looking at that content, it's very easy. Open your phone, open Google Chrome, whatever your preferred browser is, and then go to dfskarma.com. You'll see it on the homepage, but you can also click the NASCAR drop-down menu in the menu settings. Click on NASCAR articles. You'll see two different things. You'll see a NASCAR written article that's called Dave's Drivers to Watch, and then you'll also see the cheat sheet. It's part of the NASCAR Premium package. It's just full-on most of the, not most, I would kind of say, yeah, it's most of the drivers in the race. And then if he likes them for cash, for GPP, for upside, if he's going to fade them completely, all that jazz. So that being said, make sure you check that stuff out, and make sure you, if you want the exact core plays that Dave is playing every single week, and not just for the Cup Series, but also the trucks and the Xfinity as well, go to dfskarma.com slash I have to do the arm movement or it doesn't count, /shop. dfskarma.com/shop, or just go to the site and click on subscriptions. Sign up for it. You get every single prop play for Monkey Knife Fight, every single Prize Picks play, every single bet, every single DraftKings, FanDuel, a Super Draft Stat Hero, everything under the sun that's premium, including the cheat sheet. It's just $10. That's all it is. So go to dfskarma.com/shop and sign up for it. If you sign up for it, you'll have immediate access to all of these things. So it's not something that's like delayed. So if you sign up for it like an hour before lock, you'll have all access to all that stuff. But moving on to the cheapos. Cheap cash play.
Yeah, cheap cash play. Looking at Ryan Priest, and he's going to be uber chalk.
How much chalk is he going to be?
He's going to be in cash games. If he's not over or under 80%, I'm probably going to be surprised, because
I just wanted to hear you say Uber again, but you didn't, so you failed me. Anyway,
yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, so it just around him, there's really nobody worth playing, kind of, I guess, in a sense, other than maybe one or two guys. But Priest just stands out, starting 35th. He's got great place differential. When he stays out of trouble, Ryan Priest is like a top 20 car. So he's got a lot of upside, place differential upside here. Can't remember how. He finished 20th in the first race here, because then he started on the pole and then had an issue early in the race and finished last. But like I said, I'll take a 20th place finish from Ryan Priest today, no problem, and move on from him. Not looking for a top 10 or anything like that. So just a solid top 20, top 25 from Ryan Priest, and I'll be happy.
All right, the GPP side of the cheapos. Who you plugging?
Yeah, I'm looking at probably someone like Chris Buescher on GPP. He starts too far up to be considered in cash. He's with the 17 team for Roush Fenway. When he was with JTG, he was like averaging about a top 15 finish here in Darlington. This year with Roush, he's finished 32nd and 23rd. I mean, he finished 23rd in the second race, so maybe they were able to work on things and make things a little better. So I like Chris Buescher's history here, which makes me want to play him and have some exposure to him in tournaments.
Melissa says, did you enjoy Arizona? My son lives in Fountain Hills, and I plan on visiting him soon.
Yes, yeah, I loved it. I definitely will be going back. Take the wife this time. It was a nice.
You said that with so much excitement. I'll take the wife this time.
I won't be going there to try to knock out 2 bathrooms in 9 days and work my butt off and whatnot. I basically finished up about 2 hours before my flight left on Wednesday. So, but yeah, no, Arizona's fun. It was hot, but like I was telling my wife, I said it's a little different there than it is here. There's no humidity there. So 110 was like 85 and humidity here in Michigan. So it really wasn't that bad, but I enjoyed it.
Before we move on to the prop side, which so make sure you have monkeyknifefight.online pulled up, as well as prizepicks.online, because as soon as he says something on a live stream that's public to everyone, everybody and their mom's going to plug it in, and it's going to change the numbers ASAP. So make sure you have your account logged in, pulled up, so as soon as he says something that you'll be able to plug it in. That being said, something else that's a feature that has not been used a lot yet this season, because it's very new, very new with in terms of NASCAR. So if you guys have not seen the zillions of emails we sent out and social media ads and all that stuff, we do have a newly added optimizer to our site. You go to dfscover.com/shop to see those options on access to it. But they do have a NASCAR optimizer, and it doesn't work the same right now as like the MLB ones or the MEA ones, but the way that I would use it, or the way that I try to use it, to the max potential is just going back, just talking with Dave in our chat room of kind of getting an idea on right exposures and stuff. So it doesn't really base it off of projections right now. We're still working on knocking out on retooling NASCAR projections. But if Dave says, this guy should be at least 50% owned if you're doing a 20 max, or this guy should be, 10% owned or less, this guy's a fade, you can plug all of those numbers in manually into this optimizer for NASCAR, and then you can spit out, a 20 max, lineup optimized contest for NASCAR. It works for FanDuel as well. So even though it doesn't have the projections built into it from the NASCAR side of things just yet, that's something we're still working on. You can still plug it in by ownership and spit things out, so you're not manually plugging in 20 different lineups at once, or one at a time, I mean. But let's move on to Monkey Knife. I did all that segue there to give you as much time as you need, because I know you didn't have it pulled up yet. Actually. No, you are a liar. You never have it pulled up.
I'm pulling up DK Sportsbook. I had everything else pulled up though. So.
What, Ricky? Ricky says, "Mom, ? Are you playing Monkey Knife Fight 2? What?
Huh?
Ricky's day drinking again. Day drinking. Morning drinking. He's on the bottomless mimosa brunch right now. Anyway, whatever that meant. Moving on to Monkey Knife Fight. If you guys aren't familiar with that, go to monkeyknifefight.online. Use promo code KARMA to get a $50 bonus. Actually, if you go to monkeyknifefight.online today and you have not signed up yet, they'll actually give you a free $5 MLB contest. And so just two people you got to pick. If you get both of them right, you get $12 added to your account. Or it's like $12.50 or something like that. So yeah, if you don't have signed up, today's the last day to get that free $5 MLB contest. But it's pretty much just picking more or less on NASCAR fantasy scoring, and you get it right, you get money. So, what are you looking at today as your favorite Monkey Knife Fight play?
Yeah, Monkey Knife Fight. Go to the 3 of 4.
Okay. So we're doing a 3 of 4 contest. Is it a more or less or rapid fire?
More or less.
All right.
So I like Harvick more than 20.5, Hamlin more than 19.5, Truex less than 17.5, and Elliott more than 17.5.
All right, so the more or less 3 out of 4, and the only under is Truex. Everybody else is over.
If you want, I'll do 8 of 8 for fun.
I mean, if you do an 8 at 8 on a live stream that's public and accessible to everybody that has an internet connection and the 7 billion people that live in the world, I feel like that would be a good clip if it hits. Let's do it.
We'll just do it for fun. I mean,
No. You can't. The clip, if I'm going to edit the clip, I don't need to hear you saying I'm going to do it for fun. I need you to hear you say, this is an 8-8 lock. That's how the clip starts. This is the 8 out of 8 lock. Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Okay, so the clip starts here.
4 we've already had. So we had what, more, less, more on the first 4, like we just talked about with a 3 of 4.
Yeah.
And then you got Kyle Busch. I'm going less, 16.5. Brad Keselowski, less, 16.5. Joey Logano, less, 15.5. And Ryan Blaney, less, 13.5.
And this is a 100X, right?
Yep.
Okay.
$10 the max, so you can only win $1,000.
So if you heard it here first, he said this is the lock of Monkey Knife Fight for today.
Not
it's an 8. I don't know what he's saying. He's talking right now. I don't hear him. We're gonna mute his mic. This is the lock of Monkey Knife Fight today. 8-8 play. Turn $10 to $1,000 by playing all of those. So just plug in the 3-4. Trix is the only under, and then everybody else after that was all unders, I believe. Yes. And so yeah, there's your lock. Turn $10 into $1,000 a day. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I can't wait to clip this when this hits. Make sure everybody plug it in, man.
And edit my voice when I say it's not a lock.
Everybody plug it in. You're not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna edit everything in the video to make sure you're like, yeah, 100% lock. This is the biggest lock of the year. Moving on to Prize Picks. Works the exact same way, except it doesn't give you a forced 3 or 4 or 8 people you have to play. You just get to pick 2, 3, or 4 people. It doesn't even have to all be NASCAR people. So if you plug in, some college football player, a NASCAR driver, a PGA guy, whatever it may be, you can mix and match all that jazz. So, that being said, what are your Prize Picks plays?
All right, Prize Pick plays, going Chase Elliott over 33.5. Eric Jones over 31.5. And Kurt Busch over 30.5.
All right, so plug those in on PrizePicks.online. PrizePicks now has a desktop site similar to Monkey Knife Fight. So they were mobile app only, and then now they've added a site. So if you're not someone who you spend a lot of time when you do your research and you plug in your lineups, if you spend a lot of time on your desktop, your computer, your laptop, any of that jazz, then you can go to PrizePicks Online for that, or just download the app. It's either way. It's easy. Wrapping things up here, if you have any questions you have not asked yet, get them in, because we had about 5 minutes left before we wrap up this stream. So make sure if you have questions for Dave that you drop them in the comment section within the next few minutes. Moving on to the betting side. Who's your favorite guy to bet, your favorite guy outside the top 5, and then the longest shot that has a chance to win this race?
So personally, I think Denny Hamlin or Kevin Harvick end up winning this race. But they're 3-1 odds. They're no fun to bet. I think they are the favorites for a reason. I think one of those two do win. So if I'm just not going to be able to give those, like, I'm not going to, I mean, you can play them, whatever, do whatever you want, but outside of the top 5, I like Eric Jones at 20-1.
Okay, so you, for the first two guys, I don't know if I caught that. You said that their odds aren't good enough to bet on them.
They're 3-1 odds.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, where's the fun in that? But
yeah.
but there's a good chance. I mean, I put like an 80% chance that it's Denny or Kevin that win today. So,
Okay, so we're not bothering the 3-1s. You said Eric Jones 21, right?
yep.
Okay.
And
then furthest from the top, odds-wise, that if everything goes according to plan, based on their car, their experience, the track, the weather, the precipitation, the humidity.
No precipitation today. It's like 3% chance of rain.
I literally thought you were going to say there's no precipitation today. They're playing in a dome. I was waiting for that comment. I'm ready for NFL because that's my mindset already. No precipitation. Who's the crazy long shot?
Yeah, Tyler Reddick 50-1.
So if you didn't catch what he said it's a lock 8-8 Monkey Knife Fight play, turn $10 into $1,000. He says it's a lock 50-1 bet and a lock 21 bet, which I can't both be locks because
No, he didn't.
So there's the clip for you.
I said the lock was Hamlin and Harvick.
I don't know. I'm gonna edit that out. That's all editing out. But yeah, appreciate everybody that tuned in here. Remember, this is the last noon one. This is replayable. If you missed any part of it, the beginning when we were talking about Stat Hero and DraftKings, or even the Monkey Knife Fight lock 8-8, turn $10 into $1,000 today, you can replay it. So as soon as this is over with, fast forward, rewind, any of that stuff, you have plenty of time to lock. What's time is lock again today?
Lock's at 6:10.
Yeah, you got like 5.5 hours to watch the replay.
Lots of time before.
So if you want to just replay the part where
There's a
shock.
There is a truck race today
man.
too at 2:00. So
you have core plays for that too.
Core plays are already up on the site.
See, look at that. You get 2 core plays for the price of 1. Actually, you get 1,000 because, I mean, you're paying for the week with the $10. So make sure you go to dfscover.com, get the premium NASCAR package, core plays and props. That's what it's called, NASCAR core plays and props. You get all of the goodies, all of the Monkey Knife Fight plays, and he drops an insane amount of props for every race. But yeah, we'll see you next week for the opening NFL kickoff weekend. We're going to be doing a 10 a.m. NASCAR live. We're going to be doing an 11 a.m. Fantasy football live, which is where you just ask, either start, sit, season-long questions or fantasy sports questions to our NFL guys. And then 1 p.m. Eastern time, Sports World's going to go crazy. What time, do you know lock yet for next week's race?
Oh, I can tell you in give me 5 seconds here.
All right, so we just fired Dave for not being ready for anything. So.
Well, you always shoot these stupid questions off right at the last second.
Cool.
Yeah. You gotta hold on. I can find out here. Give me 1 second.
All right, so while he's looking for it, the lock again for the 8-8 was the
wow.
only overs you're plugging in were the first.
Travis, we're not doing a Sunday stream next week. We're doing a Saturday stream. I forgot it's a Saturday night race.
Not sure on the timing of that, so keep your peepers posted.
Just so you're aware, we're doing a Saturday stream the next week too. So
next week is probably unlikely. The 2 weeks from now is unlikely.
Okay, the 19th.
But yeah, because that's the first UCF home game.
Oh, and then the other one after that is at 7 p.m. So that's on a Sunday. So figure that one out.
Anyway, as long as you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and you have the bell icon clicked, which means you get notifications sent to your phone when we go live. It doesn't matter when we do it. You're going to get notified, so make sure you click the bell icon. This is a perfect segue to clicking that bell icon. on our Twitter account and our YouTube account. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel or follow the Twitter channel or whatever you're watching right now. We're blasting everywhere right now. Just click everything, follow it, everything. But yeah, it's replayable. We'll see you guys later. And then also in the Discord chat, if you're in there yet, it's free. Get in the Discord. Go to chatdfs.com. You'll get the free NASCAR channel and all the other free channels that we have there for anybody, for everybody. Chatdfs.com. See you guys. Good luck. And play that 8-8 lock. I'm not